Hi there, my name is Pauline Matura and I am a transformation coach, helping people to become more of who they are and transform and be the butterfly that they're meant to be. But I'm here in the capacity as a Bitcoin entrepreneur, this amazing industry that has changed the world. I would just like to enlighten you and open you up to jump into this opportunity that has the ability to change your life and generations to come in your life. So basically, it all begins with money. What is money? We all want money. We are all working so hard because of money. But what's really money? Money is like medium of exchange, it's a store of value, and many people don't understand it. People have been blindly using it without coming from a place of understanding it. And the difference between the people who have made it in the world, the billionaires, is that they understand the journey of money. So they're not chasing money, but they follow the journey of money. And what's the journey of money? The journey of money as we know it has all been evolving over the years. Money has had a past, present, and a future. And what's the past of money? Past of money is barter trade. Barter trade, this is where it all began. And in barter trade, this is where, in the olden days, people use goods for goods. Now, you'd have a bag of maize, and I'll need beans, so we'd change, and you have maize, and I have beans. And then it grew. There were people who used salt and spices. Then there was a point that was cowrie shells. Then it eventually grew to the point of gold and silver coins. And it's in that space that what happened is it became so tedious, so bulky, and it slowed down. One, because gold is rare. Now, not all countries are endowed with gold. So countries that didn't have gold could not be able to transact. So governments had to come and intervene. And what happened is governments would buy like gold and put it in the gold reserves. And then what they did is they ushered in the new era. And that's the present of money. And the present of money is basically what we call the fiat currency. The fiat currency, like the car, we've heard of the car fiat. Fiat is a Latin word, and the Latin word means I declare. And because of what was happening at the time with gold and countries, governments had to come and create some medium of exchange, some mode of exchange for whatever transactions that were happening. And that's where they picked up papers and they declared. And it became like, for example, fiat currency is like, this is Kenya shillings, 1,000 Kenya shillings, and this is dollars, the US dollars. So what happened is governments came and created pieces of paper, and what they said from now on, that's in the 1900s, this shall be the medium of exchange. This shall be legal tender, depending on the countries. And in that instant, most of us are still stuck here. We are the fiat currency. And I would like you to just know a few of the main characteristics of the fiat currency. Fiat currency, first and foremost, is centralized, meaning it's controlled by central bodies. That's government. Then the other main one, it is unlimited. And these are among the issues that over the years countries have had to have economic crisis in their countries because of this. The fact that it is unlimited. What happens when something is unlimited? It loses value. So the fiat currency, it is created to lose value over time. And you can look back in your life and see how goods have all grown and changed in prices. And I always look back and I say, like in the 90s, like a loaf of bread. That's a good example. And if you can remember, if you can relate to those years, in the 90s, mid 90s, a loaf of bread was like at 4 shillings and 75 cents. 4 shillings and 75 cents Kenya shillings. Today, a loaf of bread is almost 60, 70 shillings, and it's actually become smaller in size. Meaning, in the 90s, a loaf of bread that was 4 shillings and 75 cents was actually 500 grams. Today, the one that we buy between 60 and 70 shillings is 400 grams. What has changed? It's the same bread. but our money over time has lost value. Because what happens now, governments print money as they wish, and what they do is they keep on pumping more money into circulation, and the more money is there, the more it loses value. So you can look at the major currencies of the world. A few years back, like maybe say 20, 30 years back, British pound, like here in Kenya, the name was actually given based on it. It was like 20 shillings. The US dollar was less than that. It was probably like, say, 15 shillings or less. But look at it today. All currencies over time have lost value. If you trace back to the global meltdowns, it all has arisen from the fiat currencies. So the world had been studied somewhere, and there were mathematicians who were seeing how the world was all playing out in the financial, in the economics, and they needed to look for a way to change this, to make life easier for people. And this is what ushered what we are now is being called the future of money. And the future of money is basically digital money. And digital money is not something foreign to most of us. We have interacted with digital money. True or false? I'm sure you have. Everywhere in the world, they've had a small example of digital money. Like, for example, here in Kenya, a kind of digital money that I can use is we have a Safaricom, and that's the major mobile subscriber here in Kenya. And in Safaricom, it has one digital money that we all use, and I call that, and that's what we call bonga points. Yes, bonga points is actually digital money. You find many people talk about M-Pesa. M-Pesa is actually our platform. It's a digital platform that allows you to move fiat currency from one person to the other. But digital money is bonga points. And bonga points is something today that you can actually use. They have value in them. It is something that today you can actually go to some supermarkets, like say Naivas or Tuskys, and be able to shop with them. And in a global scale, some form of digital money would be things like what you get with airline tickets. When you fly with airlines, like for example with Kenya Airways, what you get is flying blue miles. And these are the miles, you can use them to actually purchase a ticket. You can pay for your baggage with your miles. This is money, yet you cannot touch it. Digital money is actually from what they call now the cryptocurrency. And cryptocurrency is now a big discussion in the world. People have woken up and people have warming up to the cryptocurrency world, because cryptocurrency is actually programmable money. It is computer generated money, because remember, we are coming from an era of fiat currency controlled by governments into the digital era where cryptocurrencies is programmable money. Now, this has been used in various places in the world. Now, unfortunately, as it were, cryptocurrency had been used in small scales in countries like you see in Kenya with bonga points. It is very limited because then you can only use it in Kenya, and once you cross border and go to another country, you cannot be able to use your bonga points. But yet we can see that they actually work. And one, they're not legal tender. They're not controlled by governments. But yet, you can actually use them to enjoy goods and services. Now, on a global scale, this was also being created somewhere. And the mother of all cryptocurrencies and digital money is what we are here to talk about today. It's what we call, yes, it's what we call Bitcoin. Yes, you heard about Bitcoin. Yes, Bitcoin is the mother of all cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin, today, everyone is waking up to Bitcoin. It's been here for a while, and now people are suddenly beginning to hear it because countries are legalizing it and making it money in the countries. And Bitcoin, as we call it, is the main, it's the first universally accepted digital currency in the world. Remember, all these others have been there, but they were only localized. Bitcoin is the first universally accepted digital currency. Now, a few facts so that you can open up and begin to understand, because I know that people who've had just Bitcoin, but they're not sure what Bitcoin is. Bitcoin was created in 2009, and it was created by a guy called Satoshi Nakamoto. And this is a pseudonym, and the person who claims the name Satoshi Nakamoto is called Craig Wright. Craig Wright. And what the motivation was when the Bitcoin was created, it was to try and sort and take care of all the problems that the digital currency, the fiat currency, was experiencing in the world. Like I mentioned earlier, all the major currencies have lost their value over time. Now, if you look at it, and they did some statistics back, and I think a year or two ago, and they have looked at the major currencies, and most of them have lost 98% to 99.9% of their value. So we now know it is not something that we can keep looking at to hold on to, because over time it doesn't make sense. And the first culprits who have experienced this, like in America, when the Bitcoin came out, it was at the time of what you remember, the global meltdown. And what was happening in the world is most of the people were holding on to things, a lot of property, but at a point they woke up to shock because their property was worth nothing, and they had worked so hard to create a lot of wealth. And this was happening to the billionaires. You find somebody had bought property worth like, say, $5 million, and you wake up and now that $5 million property is now like 100,000. It's worthless. So imagine the shock. There was a lot of foreclosure, and then people realized this was not a place that we can continue moving forward. And that's where in 2009, Bitcoin was created. Now, when Satoshi Nakamoto created the Bitcoin, and like I mentioned, was to take care of the major issues that the fiat currency was experiencing. And the major characteristics of the Bitcoin is, one, remember the fiat currency is centralized. Now, with the Bitcoin, it is decentralized. Bitcoin is decentralized, meaning Bitcoin is not controlled by anybody. Even the Satoshi Nakamoto, he just created a currency. He has no ownership to the Bitcoin. Yes. And the other major characteristic of Bitcoin is unlimited. Yes. Bitcoin is unlimited, meaning that he created this currency and only 21 million Bitcoins are ever to exist in the world. Yes, interesting? Yes, only 21 million Bitcoins are to exist in the world. And this 21 million are supposed to serve the 7.8 billion. It might sound like it's a little. Yes, I know it does, but it isn't, because Bitcoin is the only currency that is divisible into 8 decimal places. Interesting. So you can own a fraction of the Bitcoin. Yes, really possible. And this, if you look at the major currencies, I think the only currency that has 4 decimal places is the yen. All the other major currencies in the world, the fiat currencies, are up to 2 decimal places. So that shows you the value of that currency. So Bitcoin has 8 decimal places, and you can be able to own a fraction of the Bitcoin. Now, the interesting bit is that there's 21 million Bitcoins. He created a system where they would be released from 2009 to 2140. That is 130 years. Oh yes, they would not just be released at once, but they'd be released in 130 years. And the system he created, he plugged it to the internet. So Bitcoins are released on the internet, and they're not owned by anyone. Just like nobody claims ownership to the internet, nobody can claim ownership to the Bitcoin. There's only a creator, and he created a system, and the system would release them in 130 years. And how this system, he created it, is that it would release them in 4-year phases. And each 4 years, the number of Bitcoins being released would be halved. So from 2009 to 2013, the first Bitcoins, which are 50 Bitcoins, were being released every 10 minutes in a day. So this 2009 to 2014, the first block of Bitcoins, 50 Bitcoins every 10 minutes. A total of 7,200 Bitcoins were being released every day from 2009 to 2013. Then the next phase of 4 years, 2013 to July of 2016, the next set of Bitcoins, which was now 25 Bitcoins every 10 minutes, making them 3,600 Bitcoins every single day. Now you can see from 50 they went down to 25. Now we're in the third phase of 4 years, which is 2016, July to 2020. And in this, 12.5 Bitcoins released every 10 minutes. So we're at 1,800 Bitcoins every single day. Now this will go on 2020 to 2024, where this will go down to 6.25 Bitcoins every 10 minutes. And then it will go to 3.12, then it will go to 1.12, and all the way to 2140, when the last digit of 21 million Bitcoins, so it will be 0. Until it comes down to 21 million, will be released. So far, because we've only done 8 years, we still have 123 years to go. And those 8 years, 16 million Bitcoins have been released and they're in circulation. Now you can see what is happening. Since 2009, the number of Bitcoins that have been released have been going down. And what is happening? The supply is going down. So what happens to the Bitcoin? The value keeps shooting up. Because remember, Satoshi Nakamoto wanted to create a currency that would match up to gold. And that's why today they're calling the Bitcoin the gold 2.0. It's the virtual gold. Because as the demand is rising, the number that are being released into circulation is dwindling in supply. And I'd just like to take this, and I can Google right now, which I would like you to take the opportunity, and every day you can Google, and let's see how much right now the Bitcoin is at. The value of the Bitcoin. It is 2,000. Let's rewrite that. 2,679.86 US dollars. That is right now. The value of a Bitcoin is $2,679. Now, what currency do you know that is worth that? Doesn't that seem to be the most valuable currency right now in the world? Yes. And that is why this has woken up so many people, and they're all running to want to have a cake of this slice that we call the Bitcoin. Because if one is 2,679, now we can call it $2,680. Wow. Are you using the right currency in achieving your dreams? Then now you see where you need to upgrade your system. This is where you need to wake up and want to be part of. Now, this currency is one to reckon with. It is one to contend with. It is one to own. It will change your life. Satoshi Nakamoto wanted a currency that would eradicate poverty, that would equalize the world, that would change how business was done, that would simplify trade. And one thing you will realize with the Bitcoin, it is a peer-to-peer currency. And that was again one of the motivations. He wanted to create a currency that could eliminate the mediums that we use to spend or transfer money. So today, the digital currency, the cryptocurrencies, what it does, it doesn't need a bank, it doesn't need a Western Union. All I need is the person who is serving me or who I'm getting a product or a service. And once I am dealing with them, whatever money I need, I immediately transfer it to them because it's as simple as sending an email. I click on my phone, go to my Bitcoin wallet and transfer whatever it is that I need to pay immediately to the person, and they receive it. In that instant, it doesn't cost much. You actually, they have looked at the cost of Bitcoin. And now because the Bitcoin transactions have grown, I think the costs have gone a bit higher. And for it to become faster, sometimes you have to increase a bit of the markup. Because sending something like 5 million would cost you cents of a dollar. It would cost you like maybe 80 cents of a dollar. Think about it. If you were to send 5 million to the States, how much would you pay Western Union? That would be 10%. 10% would be like what? 500,000? That's how expensive transactions have become. And this is the era, future. This is where we're walking into. That whatever we need, we can do it ourselves. Because the people who are in between have made life so hard. And that's a bit about Bitcoin. I hope that is clear about you. Now, knowing what the Bitcoin is, I'm sure you all want to know, how do you have a piece of this cake, man? Because it is good cash. Yes, 2,600. You want to be part of this. You want to own some Bitcoins, okay? I mean, true or you don't. So the Bitcoin, there are various ways of owning a Bitcoin. Bitcoin, one, can be owned, one, through a business. This is where you open up a business and create a new mode of payment where you accept Bitcoins. That way you're able to capture. Now the billionaires, what they've been doing is they changed all their businesses into Bitcoin. Someone like Richard Branson, his Virgin Group of businesses, he now is receiving Bitcoin. If you want to buy a ticket from Virgin Airways, you can also pay in Bitcoin. What does that do to him? He's able to own as many Bitcoins as possible. That's one way. Another way is through what they call a bid exchange. A bid exchange is where, just like a forex, you send money to a company. Like in Kenya, we have one which is called BitPesa. BitPesa has been here since 2014. It's actually in Mirage Plaza on Wayakiwe. And what they do is they change your currency into Bitcoin. or your Bitcoin into the currency that you want. So you can send them Kenya shillings and they will send you. Remember, you don't need to, it's not a physical, it's not like going to the bank. This is something you do on your phone. So you immediately send them the money and then you send them your Bitcoin wallet address and they forward you the Bitcoins. If you have Bitcoins and you want to sell your Bitcoins, so you send them to their Bitcoin wallet and they send the money into your Bitcoin or into your phone. They can send you on M-Pesa or they can send you to your bank. It's a simple transaction. Now, this has been here since 2014. So it is something people should be knowing about because it is something that has been associated, and that one of the co-founders, it's a UK company, but one of the co-founders is the CS of ICT, Joe Musharo. He was behind starting the the BitPesa here in Kenya. It is the first bit exchange in Africa, which is located here in Kenya. So we are privileged in Kenya that we have the first bit exchange in Africa. And we need to embrace it. We need to take advantage of this because it's here to change our lives. Then the other way of owning Bitcoins is called mining. And mining is basically the safest because if you're new to the cryptocurrencies, then this will be tricky for you because there are many things that you don't understand, how it moves from one place, how to move. So this, and you don't know who to deal with. Sometimes they say about this if you're new. Mining is where we recommend everyone who wants to have a cake because one thing you need to know, the Bitcoin, Satoshi Nakamoto created it to be released for free on the internet. Yes, I'll repeat that again. Bitcoins are released for free to anyone in the world who wants to own Bitcoins and through mining. And in 2009, it began in 2008 and 2009, the young people who were always on their phone, they're always browsing and playing games on their phone, are the ones who were getting Bitcoins being released on the internet. Now, they didn't know much about it, so they would keep, and you find somebody has 10,000 Bitcoins and they transfer to their friend's farm. It was like a game they were playing. And then when it began to get value is the point where now there were peers all holding Bitcoins and they began to do a few exchanges. I remember there was one guy, and that's, I think, if you Google, you can see it. I'm sure if you check on YouTube, you can also see. There was a pizza that was bought with 10,000 Bitcoins. Yes, one pizza. And that's the point. People woke up and realized, wow, I guess this is something we all need to hold on to. And at that time, because it really didn't have value, yes, in 2009, the Bitcoin was at $0. And you can see today, 8 years down the line, it's how much? It's $2,680. Yes, demand and supply. Because what controls the Bitcoin is demand and supply. It's not controlled by anybody's. It's controlled by demand and supply. And remember, as supply is dwindling, the demand is going up. So of course the price. A month ago, it surpassed gold because gold is at $1,300. Bitcoin is at 2,680. So gold versus Bitcoin. Bitcoin, of course. So everyone is looking to own at least a fraction of this Bitcoin because even a fraction is so valuable as compared to the currency that you're holding on to. And that's why I will spend a bit more time on mining because I would like to share with you how to be part of this mining of the Bitcoin, which costs you nothing because remember, Bitcoins are released for free on the internet every 10 minutes, and we're in the phase where 12.5 Bitcoins are being released to the market. So if you have the right equipment, then you can be able, because over time it's become very competitive and all the billionaires have all moved their business into mining of Bitcoin because it seems to be the most profitable business today to do. So they've bought machines, equipment to mine Bitcoin. So they've been the ones who've been controlling this industry until 3 years ago, where in 2014, there was one company, which is called BitClub Network. It came together, and these were computer programmers who knew what was at stake and who knew what the Bitcoin was out to do to change the world. But yet it had been reverted back to the billionaires controlling the world. So they changed that and they decided, we understand how the system works. We can be able to do the mining, but how do we compete with these rich guys who have the money so that we can allow anyone in the world to be part of this? Because remember, it was created to change. Because what happens? Economic power is based on the kind of currency that you hold. If you hold Kenya shillings and somebody else holds dollars, they seem to be more financially powerful than you. And if somebody now walks in with euros, then they seem to be more powerful than you. So that is what had been happening in the world until Bitcoin, because if we're all holding Bitcoin, we are at the same level. And that was why Bitcoin was created, to create some uniformity, some equality in the world, so that people could actually have a shot in life. People could enjoy life. It was not just for the few rich who had the money earning, but it was for anyone who was interested to get on board. So in 2014, that's what happened. BitClub Network came and created a place where you and I could actually have a share in this industry. And what BitClub Network is, it is the first public mining pool in the world. Now, there had been at that point like 20, there were 19 public mining companies. There were 19 mining companies. And this 19 were all privately owned. And then in 2014, BitClub created the first public mining pool and opened up a platform to invite anyone, because then we could create the numbers of people to be able to buy as many equipment as possible. Then what happens? Economies of scale, we could be able to compete with these guys who had the money. So it would be power of numbers versus power of money. And we would all have a share of this cake called the Bitcoin. So in 2014, BitClub Network was formed. Because before then, what was happening is, for you to be able to mine a Bitcoin, let me back up a bit. For you to be able to mine the Bitcoin, what happens? You need the equipment, like I mentioned. And if you Google the equipment to mine Bitcoin, it's called Antminer S9. The Antminer S9, if you check, let me just write that for you, maybe you can check it later. Antminer S9. This is the latest machine to be able to mine Bitcoins. The Antminer, if you check it, Google, it is $2,100. So we are all looking to receive this 12.5. Remember, we are 12.5 Bitcoins every 10 minutes. So this is the internet, the 12.5 Bitcoins. So say this is Pauline. Pauline is able to raise her $2,100 and she gets her one Antminer S9. And this is here, Bill Gates. And here we have Warren Buffett. So Bill Gates, he puts 20 million US dollars. Then Warren Buffett, he puts here 30 million US dollars worth of machines. These are all Antminer S9s. And Pauline has her one Antminer S9. So what happens is, Pauline plugs her one Antminer to the internet, searching for the 12.5 Bitcoins. Warren Buffett connects his 30 million US dollars worth of machines to the internet. Bill Gates, his 20 million worth of machines to the internet to search for the Bitcoins. What do you think the probability is for Pauline to ever catch the 12.5 Bitcoins? Almost nothing. For the next million years, almost nothing. This is what was happening until BitClub Network. BitClub Network came up in 2014 giving you and I a chance to participate in this. And to be part of Bit Club Network, remember it is a club. How do you get involved to start mining the Bitcoins? And basically mining, when I say mining, it might sound very technical, but it's just the same way. If you're mining gold, then you need a gold mine and you need the tools to be able to access the gold on the ground. Now it's the same. Now in Bitcoin, the mine is on the internet. You need the equipment and that's the software to be able to search for those Bitcoins. So the layman's language I would use for mining of Bitcoins is searching for the 12.5 Bitcoins that have been released every 10 minutes on the internet. So what you're doing is you're mining by searching for them on the internet. So BitClub gives you the opportunity to be able to be part of that. And for BitClub, what happens is you need to pay a membership, which is $99. And once you pay your $99, that gives you a chance to be able to participate because it opens you up. They have different pools. They have one, a pool one is where you invest $500 US. $500 US, and this acquires you one machine. So it is one share, which is one machine. Then pool 2 is $1,000, which acquires you two shares, which is two machines. Then you have pool 3. Pool 3 is $2,000, and $2,000 gets you 4 shares, which is 4 machines. Then they have the fourth one, which they call the Founders Pool. And the Founders Pool is a collection of the three, where you spend $3,500 and you get 7 shares. It's 7 machines. Now this, remember, 7 machines is the Antminer S9 machines. Because what BitClub is able to do, it's able to get the machines at a discount, at a good price. And then what it does, it sells you shares as giving you the machines. And then you become part of the mining industry of the Bitcoin. So once you have invested your 99, which is a one-time membership, this is the one you don't need to pay again. Once you pay your 99 membership, then it opens you up to buy into any pool that you wish based on your economic strength. And once you do that, it opens you up to begin to own Bitcoins. So what they're doing is, because they're the computer programmers, they buy your machine and they create to Iceland. So the machine is bought from Bitmain. Bitmain is the company that manufactures the mining equipment. It's in the US. Bitmain, they buy your machine there and they create to Iceland, which takes 10 days. So once you have paid your membership and any of your pool, then they ask for 10 days to buy your machine and create to Iceland, where all the mining of Bitcoins is done. One, because it's cheaper. Running cost of mining is very expensive, and the climate as it is in Iceland is very favorable for the mining factories. So most of them moved from the States to Iceland, where it ended up becoming profitable for you to mine. So once they send it to Iceland, and you can be able to Google and see any mining factory in Iceland. And for BitClub, our mining factory is there. And if you go to bitclubnetwork.com, you're able to see the mining factory in Iceland, which is where you who wants to buy your machine, you can be able to trace your machine back there. So what you're investing in is the mining equipment. So you're buying your Antminer S9. So that's what you're getting in. And once you do that, what are the returns? Because just like any investor, you have invested here and you're an investor. And once you invest, you become a shareholder. And every day, what happens in companies is you invest in a company and they pay you dividends at the end of every year based on their profits. Now, in this case of BitClub Network, what happens is they pay you your dividends every single day. Having paid your 99 in any other pool, what happens is they will give you daily dividends. So your machine is plugged with all the others into the internet to search for the 12.5 bitcoins. So in 24 hours, what BitClub Network is able to capture in that day, then they split it. They share it amongst the members with 20%, which goes to the administration of the maintenance of the machines. And then the rest, they share it with the members every single day at 10 p.m. You're able to get what they call mining earnings. The mining earnings every 10 p.m. And this is why I am so excited, because this is a life-changing opportunity. And I would like to invite you who's there looking for something that could change your life. This BitClub will continue mining until the last point of Bitcoin to make 21 million is released into the world. So once you buy your equipment, this is plugged into the system. And every time it's given, the mining life is given 1,000 days. And every 1,000 days, they renew for you, and you don't need to buy any more shares. The machine automatically creates for you new shares every single day. And these new shares go to buy you more equipment to continue mining. So what you are called to do is just buy your share, and that's it. And until the mining of Bitcoin is finished, you will have this. So this will change your life, your children's life, and your grandchildren, because you could live maybe for another 50 years. But remember, we still have another 123 years. So your children and your children's children will benefit from this mining. And every day you're getting some fraction of Bitcoin. Now, I would like to share with you this because I have seen what it's done to me. It's changed my life. When I got in, that was in August of 2016, the Bitcoin was at $595. Today, when I look at it, it's $2,680. That's in a span of 8 months. It's more than grown, it's 4 times. Actually, it's actually 5 times more. So I want to ask you, what do you know that grows? Is it land? Do you know land that grows like that? And this is just, actually, they have speculated. They had said by the end of 2017 that the Bitcoin will hit 3,000. But I guess it's coming earlier than the end of 2017 because we are 2,600. So this is the time for you to jump ship. Now, you cannot be able to get into any of the other mining companies because they're privately owned. They're owned by the rich guys. This is the one that is open to the public. So don't miss out on this. And I will train you. I will show you how to grow an exponential business. I will show you how to build a business, not only where you're located, but every part of the world, because Bitcoin is global. It's not a local currency, it is a global currency. And a currency that is not just currency. It is called the virtual gold. It is gold 2.0. Please jump ship, come and let me work with you. If you have many questions, because there's still so much more you can learn about BitClub Network, you reach out to me. My email is mutua.w.holing. Mutua, M-U-T-U-A dot W, Holing, P-A-U-L-I-N, at gmail.com. Or you can hit me on Facebook. Pauline Mutua is my Facebook page, and I can be able to work with you and show you anywhere you are in the world. If this is something that interests you, you want to be part of the mining industry and see how your life can be changed. And some of the sites that I would like to recommend for you to check is www.blockchain.info. www.blockchain.info. Then you can check BitClub Network, bitclubnetwork.com. So www.bitclubnetwork.com/pmutua. That's my page on BitClub. www.bitclubnetwork.com/pmutua. If you want me to help you grow in this business, change your life, change many lives, this is a place we walk and we welcome you. Your life, you're not meant to be ordinary. You're meant to be extraordinary. And this is the opportunity that is set. In the next many years, 100 years, it will create most of the billionaires in the world. It's open for you. I know you're there and you've been looking for an opportunity. Jump, come, let me show you. I will come to where you are and we will grow your business with you. Blockchain is a system that is connected to the Bitcoin. All Bitcoins in the world all move through the blockchain. Blockchain is the central bank of Bitcoins. So any company that claims to be mining should be listed on the blockchain. And it's the most transparent public ledger because it shows each and every transaction that is happening in the world for Bitcoin. So nobody can lie to you because you can be able to go back to blockchain and trace and see whether that company is a real mining company. And if you go to blockchain, you can also check. Let me show you on blockchain. And I will just Google blockchain.info. You can see on blockchain. This, if you click on see more, you can see all the companies that are mining. And you can see in the minutes, in the last 3 minutes, you can see the company that received the block of 2.5 Bitcoins. So each company is listed based on how many. So you can see Antpool at that hour is the one that received, that was at 9:48. It received the block of 12.5 Bitcoin. So if you scroll down, you can see all the companies that are mining. And if you go back to blockchain, click on charts, then scroll up. Yeah, you can see here it's 2,659. If you go down, and that's on charts, and I want to look at where's charts. Just 1 minute. Did I click on charts? Yes, I'm on charts. Mining. Then stats. I want to see the stats. Blockchain. The stats. Those are the statistics of the Bitcoin at this time. Mining information, you can see block details, you can see that's the people who have received the currency statistics, you can see Bitcoins in circulation. So anything you want to know about the Bitcoin, you can find it on blockchain.info. You can be able to also click on the pie charts and see how explain that and all the companies listed, blockchain charts. And I want to see the hash. Okay, I can't seem to see it on my phone. Let me see charts again. API. Oh, yeah, there we go. latest headlines on that. And if you go to charts, again, mining information, this is the hash rate. So I want you to see, this is the hash rate distribution. So look at this, you can see this. You look at this is the pie chart, and it shows you all the company. There are 20 plus mining companies, and you look the top here, which has 17.3% of the pie, is the ant pool, always seems to be topping. And today, BitClub is where? BitClub network is at 3.1% of the share. This is in the last 24 hours. Now you can see this. By the end of 25 hours, you can see how they're moving and getting the 12.5 Bitcoins. That's a few details that would help you understand more about the Bitcoin. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure, and I hope to hear from you. Any comments, any questions, reach me on my email or my Facebook, and I'll be here gladly waiting to help you. Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for listening, and please do not be discouraged at how long the video is. It's worth your life. Thank you.